Hey everybody, up for a good mystery? Then let's get into The Hound of the Baskervilles from 1939, starring Richard Greene, Basil Rathbone, Wendy Barrie, and Nigel Bruce. Now, upon the death of Sir Charles Baskerville, as played by Ian McLaren, his nephew Sir Henry Baskerville, Richard Greene, comes from Canada to take over the estate. Among some of the late Sir Charles' friends is Dr. James Mortimer, Lionel Atwill, who comes to see Sherlock Holmes, Basil Rathbone, in hopes that the famous detective might be able to convince Sir Henry to stay away from Baskerville Hall. Now, when Sir Henry arrives, Sherlock instead wants to encourage him to go on, even after telling him of the legend of the Hound. He ends up foiling an assassination attempt before Sir Henry leaves London, but sends Dr. Watson, Nigel Bruce, with Sir Henry, electing to stay behind to work on something else. After they arrive at Baskerville Hall, they meet Beryl Stapleton, Wendy Barrie, and her brother John, Martin Lowry, along with a few of their other neighbors. The howling of a hound at night bothers them, considering the legend that had killed one of Sir Henry's ancestors, but it is the convict brother of Sir Henry's butler's wife that ends up getting killed, because he was wearing some of Sir Henry's clothes. Sherlock, meanwhile, has been lurking in the background, trying to figure things out. After revealing himself, he decides to pretend to leave in order to allow the potential murder of Sir Henry so that he could catch the killer. But can he get back in time and prevent the murder? Based on the classic story by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the 1939 film is probably the best-known version of the tale. Of course, at the time, they had no idea that it would be so successful, spawning a series of 13 more films, as well as a radio series, all featuring Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce in their respective roles. But for this movie, Basil Rathbone as Sherlock was the second billed actor behind Richard Greene's Sir Henry Baskerville. Although, to be fair, Basil's Sherlock disappears for a good part of the movie. But apparently, one remarkable point about this movie, at least according to the Turner Classic Movies website, is that it was the first Sherlock Holmes movie done as a period piece, being set firmly in the past, as opposed to being done in then modern times or wherever, like most other stories had been. Now, the movie's success resulted in another film being produced by Fox that same year, also a period film, although based on a play instead of one of the original stories, before the series ended up moving to Universal a few years later, and they ended up bringing the series back to modern times. But having seen all 14 of the Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce films, I will say that Hound of the Baskervilles is the best of the bunch. While it is definitely an introduction, I do like Basil's portrayal of the character. It may not be based on the original stories, although I don't really know myself, as I am going off of what others have said, plus other big and small screen versions of the character, since I've never read the stories. But I do like his way best. To me, he brings out the character's humanity without maintaining the arrogance that most other portrayals seem to have had that I've seen. To me, he cares about people, and that alone makes his version more fun to watch. Now, the fact that Basil and Nigel were friends off screen just kind of heightens the dynamic here. But this is a wonderful movie, and one I would highly recommend. The first movie in this series is definitely the best place to start. At least if you want to start with a high point instead of a low one, anyways. Now, this movie is available on Blu-ray as part of the 14-film Basil Rathbone in the Complete Sherlock Holmes collection from MPI Home Video, and is 1 hour and 20 minutes in length. Well, that's all I have to say on this movie from 1939. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I hope you'll be back for more.